Hello and welcome to another lovely Elspeth von Draken campaign. We will begin by expediting the second demise of the neighboring bloodsuckers. Unbeknownst to them, we have big boomsticks and a turret-mounted rocket launcher. The first battle was going well, our bombs were bombing the undead, until Elspeth took 5 hits from the enemy lord, one after the other. And then on top of that, second attempt went much better, our cannonballs prevented the crypt horrors from approaching, we shot their lord with ease. With that out of the way, we fight the Dotenbach garrison in a field battle. We secured a simple, though slightly loss-inducing win. Then, at Wissenburg, we used some sneaky, stealthy tactics. We put our Free Company militia into forests and waited, then shot the undead flanks without mercy. Once again, not a particularly difficult battle. We took an extra turn to wait, recruit more handgunners for the gunnery school mission, and acquired a witch hunter, then marched onward to liberate Solent, starting with the siege of Feldorf. Despite its grand purpose, the battle was a bit less than grand. We spent a good deal of time launching rockets and brazenly walking up to their walls. Eventually, we broke a hole in the wall and after some blob-on-blob action, emerged relatively unscathed. With Feldorf ours, we decided to get rid of the neighboring Green Lads. The Green Lads ran into and past our gun line, and after a short melee skirmish, the Greenskins were pushed back. We then fought the Remnants because the Outresolve did not like us, and we proved to it that we will in fact do our best to lose the prophesized units. We took Fort Sol by opening a hole in the wall, shooting through it. Sprinted onward to Steingart and auto-resolved because no gobbo stack can hold us. We then confederated Stirland because their government was collapsing and they desperately needed our aid. We built a garden in Everheim to spread upkeep reduction and canceled the trespass penalties, sprinted off to Stirland and wiped the Changeling in a very simple battle. And finally, it was time for the real challenge. Our primary enemy for the foreseeable future. Vlad von Karstein. A swift strike into his lands led to the capture of both Fort Oberstar and Castle Tempelhof. We also recruited a noble priest to help us in our ventures. Then we decided to go for the stealthy approach of trying to ambush Vlad with a 100% chance ambush because that always works out. Okay, so let's try again. Well then, it's time for the battle of our lives. We shot down some approaching bats, but we did not focus Isabella, so her and a mage managed to get into our front line. Hey, at least we got a good purple sun over on these dogs. Wait, where's everybody going? Guys, come back! No! Okay, attempt number 2. This time we do some running, we auto-resolve one of them with some heavy losses, but we survive. And then, surprise surprise, Vlad is actually stuck in our attack range purely because of a marching army right next to him. So we attack the marching army and initiate the fight. Now Isabella von Karstein over here decides that she is the bravest one of all, and she proudly tanks both cannonballs and gunshots and dies very fast. A second flying vampire approaches and also dies very fast to our guns. For a third time, the pattern repeats and some Vargulfs also go down quite easily. The same, however, cannot be said for Vlad, as he is a machine and he survives 4 handgunners attempting to shoot him down. Unfortunately for us, the movement our handgunners had to take in order to shoot Vlad altogether exposed them to very rapid strikes from the undead, and following their collapse on our handgunners, everything went really, really bad. With no way to resist the horde, our lines were simply overrun, and with no way to kill Vlad either, we fell swiftly. However, all is not as dark as it might seem to be. For indeed, the battle might have looked grim, but surprisingly our most valuable units, our 2 pieces of artillery, survived, which means we could just run away and recuperate. And run we did, as our garden placed in Knoll allow us to retreat and reform our army. And we will be back in no time at all to conquer Sylvania. Of that, the undead can be certain. And indeed, 5-ish turns later, with the power of siphoning every single gold piece our empire has, I returned with an even stronger army. I returned to Sylvania to find that Fort Oberstrei and Castle Tempelhof are still under our control, because apparently, while we were teleporting away to Null, we left a stash of silver and garlic, so the vampires were allergic and were compelled to repeatedly sack Castle Tempelhof to give us some time. And swiftly did we return, our armies restocked, resupplied, and ready to purge undead. We succeed and ambush a minor army attempting to set up its reinforcements. We wipe them out, however this means we have to face Vlad the old-fashioned way. Since Vlad was the one attacking us, we found a comfortable spot to sit our lines on. In their bloodthirst, some of the undead were caught in a gun line that had them on the ground in no time at all. Our angles were covered from Vlad's cavalry and could confidently sit down and open fire. Unfortunately, Vlad himself went for a reinforcement, which could not do significant damage to him. Thus, our reinforcement flank was overwhelmed and our main line barely held. The situation was dire as our handgunners were nearing their limit, but we managed to recover them and brought down multiple vampire heroes. One by one they all fall down. And as expected, Vlad loses hope and literally dies. Yeah, that guy just got shot by his friends. And that's the point where the vampires stopped being very threatening. With their biggest army out of the way, we went on to take Castle Drakenhof with some tank on low tier unit action, and then we simply marched northward, had Castle Drakenhof sniped by an army I didn't even know was there, killed it, took it back at tier 1, and then walked on north and auto-resolved our way through masses of skeletons. And with that, Sylvania is destroyed and we are free to make a decision. You see, we are playing with the Victory Conditions Overhaul mod, which means after getting rid of our initial biggest threat, Sylvania, we're free to move about where we want to. Our first route involves going north to take out the Fekandites and the Wargrove of Woe. Our second route involves going south to fight pirates, ogres, rats, everything to secure the Border Princes. Our third one involves going to the Badlands to find Fosric's Flying Fortress in one of the listed settlements. But we'll be starting all that in the next episode. Thank you all so much for coming. Hope you had fun. Have a lovely rest of your day. And if you'd like to join me, we stream Total Warhammer generally every day. Link is in the description.